Assalamu alaikum viewers, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be teaching you how to do NVR application for your third generation child. On this video, I'm not going to be giving you a step-by-step guide on how to actually fill out the application. There's already plenty of videos on YouTube which show you how to do that. And assuming that you know how to read and write, because obviously if your kid's a third generation, which means both parents were born here in the UK, I'm assuming you already know how to read and write. So if you look at the website, if you look at the application, it's already simple to fill out. So on this video, I'm basically going to be just giving you a quick insight to the challenges that I came across when I was trying to fill out this application, and something for you to bear in mind when you fill out your own application for your kids. So I'm going to go in sequential order from the problems that I had from the beginning to the end. So I'm just going to put a fake email address here for now, just to get past this stage. And when you get into the main section of the application, here's where the first problem came up. So the first challenge was relatively easy to get past. It was the picture issue. So I'm just trying to upload any picture for now, just to give you an example. But when you go to upload the picture, it'll show it here where it's been uploaded. But when you click on preview, this is when it's going to show you that the picture format is either wrong. So you can obviously go onto Google and change the image format, like on one of them free converters. But also you need to bear in mind that the picture size, and the file size has to be in accordance with what it's stating here. You need to do it by by the measurements and by that size, or it's not going to work. So let's say you've gone on one of these websites, converted your image, got it to the right measurements, and you're ready to go, ready to fill out the application. What's next? So this is when the second challenge started, and I'll be honest, it was very difficult to overcome. Because at the time of my application, my wife's application, and doing my kids' applications for their NVR, the system hadn't updated by then. So alhamdulillah, so far it's looking like it's updated, which I'll show you in a minute. But basically, imagine you're filling out these details here. I'm just putting anything for now, but imagine you put all the correct information, and when you get to the bottom and you press next to go to the next page, it doesn't go next. So this was a major challenge for me at first, because I couldn't understand why it was doing that. I tried multiple internet browsers, Safari, Chrome, Brave. I tried it on my MacBook, I tried it on my iPhone, and it wasn't working. So I went to these Bangladeshi offices. They couldn't tell me why it was doing that. I even contacted the Bangladeshi High Commission in Manchester, and they couldn't tell me why it was doing that. But the problem is, when you go into these places for them lot to fill out the application for you, it takes time, and if you've got kids and stuff and you've got work, it's difficult to get time off. It's difficult to make that time to go to these places and to book an appointment, and you might have to give them money. So for us who are born and raised in this country, and we know how to read and write, and we know how to fill out a simple application, it was quite frustrating not to be able to get past this stage. So how did I get past this stage? Well, I used an Android phone, an Android device. So I quickly realized that the Bangladeshi visa application website, it wasn't up to date with the Apple software. They're not tech savvy enough to explain it, because obviously it's new to them using online applications instead of going in and doing it on paper. So as you can see here, now I'm pressing next. I'm still using my MacBook. It's worked. Look, it's gone next. But before, it wasn't going past this stage. Just literally a couple of months ago, it wasn't working. Now we're in November 2023, and it's allowed me to go next. And it's even allowed me to save my progress. At the time of my application, like I said, it wasn't working. So that was the second issue. The third problem happened when I actually got to the High Commission. See, here on this checklist at the end of the visa, there's one piece of information that it didn't tell me that I needed. So usually when you get to the checklist, you need to tick the father, husband or mother's visa copy, because you're going to need a copy of that. You're going to need a copy of your passport, usually birth certificate. If it's the first time you're obviously putting a visa on, or obviously for a kid, and the photo, you need to get a photo printed out. But one of the things that it didn't state that I needed was proof of address. They take this document very seriously, because when I got to the High Commission, they was literally ready to turn me away and send me back, simply because I didn't have that document. But luckily, I just contacted my wife and told her to send it me over on email, and then the High Commission accepted for me to send the document over to them by email. Proof of address could be a bank statement, utility bill, but you don't need it for every single person. It just has to be one individual. So in particular, we're doing it for my children here, so we're talking about third generation children. So even a bank statement in my name or in my wife's name, that was sufficient enough. So obviously when I did my wife's application, they preferred it in her name, so a bank statement in her name was sufficient enough, but we didn't need both. This last step was the biggest barrier, and this will determine whether they are eligible to get an NVR visa put on their application. is having a nationality or some sort of recognition in Bangladesh. So for third generation children born in Britain or outside of Bangladesh, in any other country, they need to have some sort of acknowledgement or some sort of ties with Bangladesh, assuming that, oh yeah, because I'm Bangladeshi and I've got an NVR put on my passport and, you know, my parents were born there. I thought my NVR was sufficient enough for my kids to get NVR, but that's not how it works. I was told that we need to have a Bangladeshi birth certificate or Bangladeshi passport with the application. So I thought I might be able to get my kids' grandparents, meaning my parents' birth certificate or Bangladeshi passport, but it wasn't going to do. It had to be directly the child's parents, either one of them having a Bangladeshi passport or a birth certificate. So just to keep it simple, I didn't look into the passport option because it looked more expensive, and I obviously understood getting a passport would be a little bit more difficult. So I looked at the birth certificate option, which was relatively easy. So all you basically have to do is contact somebody in Bangladesh, a family member, a friend, and ask them to get a birth certificate made for you. When the High Commission was saying that to me, I thought it was going to be difficult, and I thought it's not simple, because obviously being British, I thought, how can you just generate a birth certificate? But it's quite simple in Desh. You just kind of pay someone. Max, you're probably looking up to £100, £150. Fortunately, we've got family members who have got good ties and links with the local chairman, so we got it done for like £20, £30. You might have to get them to book an appointment, but when they make a Bangladeshi birth certificate for you, it has to match up with your passport here. So you can't put on your Bangladeshi birth certificate that they was born in Bangladesh. You have to put that they was born in Britain, your kids. Because if that's what it says in their passport, that they're born in the UK, for example London, you have to put the same information on the Bangladeshi birth certificate. So the Bangladeshi birth certificate isn't to acknowledge that they was born in Bangladesh, it's just to basically acknowledge that they're a Bangladeshi citizen and they've got parents from Bangladesh. It's extremely important to get the details right on the birth certificate. See, this is one thing that the High Commission didn't elaborate, and they didn't tell me specific details to put on there. They just told me to get it made. So when I contacted my person in Bangladesh and told him to make a birth certificate for myself and for my wife, we put down on the birth certificate that we was born in Bangladesh, Sylhet, and the village, you know, our village. But then when I went back to the High Commission with this document, it didn't work, because when they looked at the document for the birth certificate, and you know, they've got a system where they can check with the serial number of the birth certificate with the Bangladeshi database or something, and then they looked at our British passport, it wasn't matching. So they sent me back and they specifically told me to go and amend the place of birth. So, you know, I had to go and contact my person in Bangladesh and ask them to go and see the chairman again and get it changed, which was a little bit of headache. So make sure you get the details exactly right. And one thing to bear in mind is, for example, in my passport it says that I was born in Tameside. In my wife's it says she was born in London. When they do it on the Bangladeshi birth certificate, they can't specifically put London or Tameside, they'll just put United Kingdom, but that is sufficient enough. So make sure you get them details right. And you know what, it's actually beneficial getting that done, because once we got our birth certificates done, that allowed me to open a bank account. So the last time I was in Bangladesh, I was able to open a bank account because I've got a Bangladeshi birth certificate. Now the next time I'm going, I'll be able to make an ID card, because I've got that Bangladeshi citizenship, Bangladeshi birth certificate, sorry. I hope this video has been helpful, guys. If you got any questions or any comments, leave them down below, and subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up on this video, and hit the bell so you get any notifications if I upload any new videos, because I'm going to be going to Bangladesh in the next month and a half, I think, with my family. So I'll be doing a lot of traveling and a lot of vlogs and stuff. So if you want to watch that type of stuff, you know, subscribe to the channel, keep up to date. Until next time, guys, peace out.